Rachel Zegler's controversial behavior is at the heart of a storm that has shaken one of Hollywood's biggest companies, Disney. The actress, slated to lead the upcoming Snow White 2025, has drawn intense backlash for comments and actions that critics claim are chaotic and overly woke. Her remarks about the project have reportedly undone months of effort by Disney executives to revitalize the Snow White brand and its image. As it stands, Disney faces a full-blown PR nightmare, with public outrage against the remake snowballing. The company, under CEO Bob Iger, has been scrambling to cut costs amid an already challenging financial landscape, but the Snow White controversy has added another layer of difficulty. What was once expected to be a box office triumph now feels more like a Titanic-esque crash into an iceberg. Zegler herself has faced significant fallout from her statements. Industry insiders suggest her behavior has made filmmakers increasingly hesitant to work with her. Over the past 2 years, she hasn't landed any major roles, fueling speculation that her career is at a standstill. Many believe hiring her could bring unnecessary controversy and damage to future projects for Disney. The stakes couldn't be higher. The company has already invested heavily in the live-action Snow White remake, banking on its success to bolster their flagging image. However, the growing backlash has left many questioning if this project can ever recover. As Disney's efforts to steer clear of further disaster continue, Zegler's involvement remains a contentious focal point. Ultimately, both Zegler's career and Disney's fortunes seem precariously balanced, with the Snow White debacle serving as a cautionary tale about the risks of mismanaging public perception.
Have consequences, especially when it comes to stone cold stupid.
Go home to your mother!
Speaking of stupid mistakes, Disney released the latest trailer for Snow White. I gotta say, take a look at the 7 dwarfs. They look like rejected plastic.
The drama surrounding Snow White 2025 kicked off in full swing after the trailer dropped at D23. The reaction? Well, let's just say it wasn't a standing ovation. Fans were furious, and not just a few disgruntled tweets. This backlash has escalated to full-on boycott calls. Yes, you heard that right. A Disney classic, adored for nearly a century, is now at the center of a massive controversy. Why? Fans are fed up. For years, Disney has been reimagining its beloved classics, but many feel the magic has been replaced with heavy-handed messaging. Audiences craved nostalgia and fantasy, but what they're getting feels more like a lecture. And now it seems fans are saying, enough is enough. Let's get to the heart of the issue, Snow White herself. This version of our classic, fair-skinned princess stars Rachel Zegler, a Latina actress. Meanwhile, the iconic 7 dwarfs? They're no longer dwarves, and none of them are white either. Here's where things get tricky. Representation is important in media, no arguments there. But many fans feel Disney is so focused on pushing a message that it has forgotten the essence of the story. Audiences wanted a Snow White that felt familiar, a tale that reminded them of their childhood. Instead, they're getting something that feels unrecognizable.
Disney, who decided to update Snow White for modern-day audiences by rewriting her origin story. Now, she was a baby that survived a snowstorm, so the king and queen named her Snow White.
This brings us to a bigger debate: Disney's focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI). Now, let's be clear. Diversity can enrich storytelling, but when it feels forced, it can come across as disingenuous. Fans aren't going to theaters to be lectured on woke issues. They're going to escape into magical worlds. Instead, the focus has shifted from timeless storytelling to heavy-handed messaging, leaving fans frustrated. And speaking of frustration, let's talk about Rachel Zegler. The actress hasn't exactly won over fans. Her comments about the original Snow White, calling it outdated and irrelevant, haven't helped her case. Instead of honoring Disney's legacy, she's thrown shade at the foundation of this remake. Fans aren't impressed. They argue that if you're playing Snow White, you should at least respect the original character. Instead, what they're seeing feels like the opposite, and many are questioning why Disney cast her at all. Reports now suggest that Zegler might be cut from future Disney projects. While she's still tied to Snow White 2025, her Disney career could be over before it even started. Why take a beloved classic like Snow White and twist it into something so different? If Disney wants to tell modern stories, that's fine. But why not create new characters and worlds instead of reinventing old tales?
That puts the budget for live-action Snow White all in at $405 million.
Rachel Zegler hasn't been taking this backlash lightly. She's pointed fingers at Disney's marketing team, blaming them for the mess. According to her, the promotional strategy, or lack thereof, only fueled the outrage. Disney, scrambling to contain the fallout, has reportedly fired the entire marketing team for the movie, hoping a fresh squad can salvage the situation. But let's be real, trying to spin this disaster into something appealing is like trying to rebuild a house in a hurricane, and it gets worse. Just 2 months before the release, Disney has ordered reshoots for Snow White 2025. That's right, they're hauling the cast back for last-minute changes in a desperate attempt to win back fans. But can you really save a movie when the damage has already been done? Even the merchandise plans are in chaos. The action figures, dolls, and themed apparel Disney hoped would be bestsellers now face the prospect of collecting dust in warehouses. For a company that relies on merchandising for billions, that's a massive blow. With a $300 million budget and an additional $10 to $15 million for reshoots, this project has turned into a financial and PR nightmare. Disney is taking a gamble, but the question remains, will it pay off? Will Disney learn from this debacle, or are we doomed to see more classics reimagined into cautionary tales of what not to do? Only time will tell. One thing's for sure, Disney risks losing its magic if it doesn't return to what it does best, creating timeless, enchanting stories. What do you think? Is this the end of Disney's live-action era as we know it? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on Snow White and other Hollywood controversies. See you in the next one. Disney's Snow White remake is facing turmoil, and the marketing strategy has taken much of the blame. Lead actress Rachel Zegler openly criticized the team, suggesting their poor promotional efforts only intensified the backlash. In response, Disney reportedly fired the entire marketing team, bringing in a new crew to salvage the film's reputation. But at this point, fixing the damage feels like an impossible task. To make matters worse, Disney has ordered reshoots just 2 months before the scheduled 2025 release. The cast is being called back to tweak the project, a clear sign of desperation. These last-minute changes come with a hefty price tag, adding another $10 to $15 million to an already staggering $300 million budget. Even merchandising plans are in jeopardy. Products like action figures, dolls, and themed apparel that Disney hoped would dominate store shelves now face the risk of being unsold stock. For a company that heavily relies on merchandise revenue, this misstep could spell disaster. The stakes are high, and Disney's gamble to win back fans might not pay off. The backlash stems from the perception that the studio abandoned the magic of the original story in favor of forced modern updates. Fans want timeless, enchanting tales, not divisive reimaginings. With Snow White shaping up to be both a financial and PR catastrophe, Disney faces a critical moment. Will they learn from this experience and return to creating stories that resonate across generations? Or will their live-action era collapse under its own weight? What do you think? Is this the end of Disney's live-action remakes? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on Snow White and other Hollywood news. See you in the next one.